Hello everybody, back again with another video. Hope you're doing well, hope your life's going well, hope this week has gone well for you, and hope that today has gone well for you. Today is Friday, it is July the 4th, 2025, it is about 10:06 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I hope that y'all are having a wonderful Friday, a wonderful July 4th holiday, and I hope it's been a fun day for you so far. I hope that you're able to spend time with friends, family, loved ones, go out and about, enjoy the day, and just have a good time. I will say this though, please be safe around these fireworks. These fireworks are nothing to play with. These fireworks are dangerous, and if they're not used properly, they have the potential to hurt someone. And so please be safe around these fireworks. Definitely don't want any accidents to happen. Also to intoxicated people should be nowhere near fireworks, okay? And that's what I'll say, because there's a lot of people that they'll go out and drink excessively today, because it's July 4th, and then they'll go and try to pop fireworks. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. If someone is intoxicated, keep them as far away from fireworks as possible, okay? Just saying, don't want any sort of accidents to happen, Definitely want everybody to be safe out there. And so, yeah. And also another thing that happened, the big beautiful bill is expected to be signed into law today by President Donald Trump. It made it past the House, and it's going to be put on his desk today and signed into law. There's a lot of people that are happy about this bill. There's a lot of people that are upset about this bill. What I was thinking about doing is making a video kind of breaking down each new, like, what do you call them, like each new law within this bill, and just telling you whether I agree with it or disagree with it and why. Something I was thinking about, but I don't know for sure whether I'm going to do that or not. So, but yeah, it's a highly controversial bill. A lot of new, laws and just things that are going to be taking place. And so, yeah. But, let me get into what I want to review today. This is Lindt chocolate. This time I got the 85% cocoa, because the last Lindt chocolate I reviewed was 100% cocoa, and I kind of just wanted to taste the difference between 100% cocoa and 85% cocoa. This here has 4 grams of added sugar per serving, and one serving is 3.5. One serving is 3 pieces, and there's 3.5 servings per container. And this is 85%. They offer a 70% cocoa and a 90% cocoa as well, but we have 85% cocoa. And so we're just gonna go ahead and taste this. Lindt, they make good chocolate, high quality chocolate, and actually, before I do that, I can just read the nutrition facts we have. And this for 3 pieces. One serving is 3 pieces, 170 calories, 14 grams of fat, 8 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol, 5 milligrams of sodium, 11 grams of carbs, 4 grams of dietary fiber, 4 grams of sugar, including 4 grams of added sugar, and protein, 4 grams. So we'll go ahead and open it. Go ahead and open it. How does that sound? I thought about getting back into making sounds videos, but it looks like it's kind of broken already. But yeah, this comes in this sort of foil type wrap here. As I take this out, let me just tell you what just popped up in my mind. Look, here's some friendly advice for you. If you're going to buy a car, right? If you're going to a car dealership and you're buying a car, and you're talking about what you want your monthly payment to be to the car salesman, remember that if the car salesman is trying to give you a longer term loan, say y'all are negotiating, the monthly payment, right? And you're negotiating the monthly payment for a 60-month loan. If that car salesman tells you, oh, we can lower your payment, we can just turn that 60-month loan into a 72-month loan, and guess what? Your monthly payment's going to be lower. Just remember, in the long run, you're going to be paying more in interest, and that's what they're not going to tell you. Yeah, they ain't going to tell you that, though. They're not going to tell you, hey, you are going to pay more in interest, in the long term. You might have some honest car salesmen that might tell you, but many times they're not going to tell you that. They're going to bank on you being ignorant to that fact. Okay, so and then nowadays they got these 84 and 96 month loans. That's just even more interest you're gonna pay. The longer the loan term is, the more you're gonna pay in interest over the term of that loan. So if you have a 60-month loan and your monthly payment is a certain amount, if you go up to a 72-month loan, you're paying more in interest. An 84-month loan, you're paying even more in interest. A 96-month loan, because those exist nowadays, you're paying even more in interest. I'm not going to tell you that. Now, what they will tell you over and over is, hey, your monthly payment's going to be lower. And it's true, it will be lower. But, yeah, they're going to make more on that interest over the term of that loan, over the lifetime of that loan. So, if you didn't know, now you know. I just don't want y'all to, not know that. And then, these car salesmen trying to tell you, oh, we can lower it. Look, you want something to negotiate. Look, negotiate the actual price of the vehicle and not the monthly payment. Negotiate the actual price of that vehicle and have them put that price in writing. Okay, that, hey, it was this amount, but it's the lower amount on paper, not the monthly payment. Okay, so if I'm being real honest with you, you shouldn't buy in cash, but that's just me. But I understand not everybody's want to gonna want to buy in cash. They're gonna want to buy cars that they can't afford in cash, and so thought I'd put that out there. Anyway, let's take this on out. It's broken though, unfortunately. It is broken. I think these are these bigger bars than the other Lindt chocolate? I think they are. There's only 10 squares. This chocolate compared to the 100% cocoa, it's a lot smaller. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Well, might as well just eat, I guess they figured, with it being a slightly sweeter chocolate, people would want, more. Definitely sweeter. Definitely chocolatey. I like it. Now I see why they say train your palate on the the chocolates with a lower percentage of cocoa before you move up to the 100% cocoa. The one that's completely unsweet. It's one piece there. That's all I'm gonna do. 3 pieces. Okay. It's pretty good. I think I bought this at Walgreens. It wasn't too expensive. Definitely wasn't the cheapest chocolate either. You're gonna pay for quality though, that's the thing. That is what you're gonna pay for. But I've seen this thing where they have this thing where people are forming like emotional bonds with AI chatbots. And I didn't even realize this was a thing until recently, but apparently this has been a thing for years now. You have people literally getting into relationships with an AI chatbot. And, it's like, man, this is where we're at in 2025. Even though this has been going on for, a few years now. But, they were talking about how there were millions of people forming relationships with chatbots, Chat GPT, other different types of AI programs and stuff. And it's like, man, I think that someone who forms a deep enough relationship with an AI chatbot is really going to struggle with connecting, with another human on that level. Because the fact is, human beings are not chatbots, And they were talking about how with a chatbot, what were they saying? Like, it never causes conflict or whatever. Well, look, no, with any real human connection, you're going to have disagreements, you're going to have conflict, right? And what matters is how you solve that conflict. So your conflict resolution skills right then and there are going to be like, you're not going to have any because, you've been in a relationship with an AI chatbot and you never had conflict resolution. I mean, do you see where this is headed? They want us disconnected from each other. They want us isolated. They don't want us coming together. And I suspect within 3 to 5 years, there's going to be millions more people forming relationships with AI chatbots as this stuff becomes even more popular, as this stuff becomes even more realistic. I mean, they already got the AI slop videos where it's, just basically nonsense that is created by AI, and it looks so real. The voices sound so real that you can hardly tell the difference now. Imagine where this is going to be in 3 to 5 years. You won't be able to tell the difference. And imagine, because I don't think they have they might interactive AI chatbots that look super realistic, literally look real. I'm sure they have that now, but just imagine how popular those are going to be within the next 5 years. There's a provision in the big beautiful bill where states, if states were to regulate AI within the next 5 years, they would lose access to millions and millions of dollars in federal funds. And that is something that I disagree with in that big beautiful bill. Why is it that they don't want AI regulated? Do they know where AI is going to be in 5 years? It's already very advanced now. This technology is growing very fast. AI is taking millions of people's jobs, especially white collar jobs. Think about how many white collar jobs it's going to take within the next 5 years. That's seriously something that we have to think about and we have to consider. I wish they would have took a look at that again in the big beautiful bill. I believe at first they had it to where states could not regulate AI within the next 10 years, but they revised it and changed it over to 5 years. And if the states do decide to regulate AI anyway, they're going to lose millions and millions of dollars in access to federal funds. So essentially they're incentivized to not regulate AI. So I suspect that you're really not going to have many states regulating AI. Why don't they want AI regulated, You ever think about that? They know this takes millions of people's jobs. That's why I say these politicians are not on our side. These politicians know AI is taking more jobs than anything. They know that. So why wouldn't they regulate AI? I mean, just stop and think about it. Wouldn't it be the most logical thing for a politician, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, to at least set some sort of regulation on AI, artificial intelligence? Why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? They want to regulate everything else, but you can't regulate AI though. No, you can't regulate AI. You don't think that's for a reason? Something to think about. when you think that one party is better than the other, they all the same. You know, they all talk a good game during a campaign trail, and they get in office and just do whatever they want. Not even really whatever they want. They do whatever their big corporate donors want them to do. You know? So yeah, that's something that I found out that was very interesting. Intimate emotional relationships with AI partners. Man, we are so disconnected. We're more disconnected from each other than ever before. This technology, you know, in my opinion, sometimes I'm like, man, this is really a net negative for humanity. All this technology, all this AI. We know AI in general is a net negative for humanity. We know that. But, you know, not everything, but a lot of things technology-wise, you know. I don't know. Anyway, I really do thank y'all for watching. I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to a close. I hope that you were relaxed. I hope that you enjoyed the video. And once again, this is the chocolate I had. Lindt 85% cocoa. But yeah. Thanks for watching.